The Perdigon fly, one of the most effective flies out there in the fly fishing world, and there's probably hundreds to thousands of ways that you can tie it. But today I'm going to show you a variation that I love to tie and catches probably most of the fish that I catch in the stream. Alright, enough talking, let's get into fly tying. Welcome back to Happy on the Fly. My name is Carson, and if you don't know me, I've been fly fishing for over a decade now, including competitive fly fishing. So today I'm going to show you a variation of a pertigon that mainly imitates a midge pattern or kind of closely related to the turbo midge. To get to the point, this fly catches fish. Besides that, let's get right into fly tying. So before tying this fly, we're going to start off with a size 14 barbless dry fly hook from Fulling Mill. And for the bead, we have a silver bead slotted, and this is going to be a size 2.5 millimeter bead. And the thread that we're going to be using today, actually we're going to be using two, and we're going to be using a 70-aught black thread, ultra thread, including a 140 ultra thread fire orange. And this is going to be for the hot spot or the thorax for the fly. So we're going to start off with some wraps behind the bead. And the main point here is just to secure that slotted bead. Now I get a lot of questions and comments in regards to why do I use slotted tungsten beads on my straight shank hooks. And this just works as well as the jig or the jig hooks that we usually tend to use or usually have with these slotted beads. But also it's a dry fly hook, and this is not just because I like using or just like using dry fly hooks. There's always a reason, and that main reason is that it's a thinner diameter than a nymph hook, and I believe that you do connect to a lot more fish, or you get more fish to the net when you have that thinner diameter hook size. So enough of that. Let's get some Perdigon fibers here for the tail, and we're just gonna get about the right size here. There we go, that's perfect. And I'm just going to secure that to the hook. Okay. Now I'm not really too superstitious about how long my tail needs to be or how many fibers I need to use. Just needs to look buggy, and it is a-okay with me. So we just moved our thread all the way to the bend of the hook, and right now I am just trying to build up the body a little bit. So we're going to actually wrap all the way back to behind the bead, and now we're going to get some wire, and this is silver wire, and this is going to be extra small. You can obviously have it in different sizes, but I don't want it too flashy for the silver part, but I do want a really nice hot spot up on the thorax of the fly. So we're just going to attach our silver wire here to the fly, and we did not do a good job doing that. And we're just going to try that again. And what we're going to do now is that we're just going to make some extra wraps, just because this wire is pretty thin, and we're just going to wrap all the way back to the bend of the hook. Okay. And now we're just going to continue to build the body. Not relatively thick, but at least it has a good body that you can visibly see. So we're just going to simply just grab our wire, and we're just going to make some wraps, just like if we were making a zebra midge. Make sure that the wraps are even. Alright. And I'm going to probably do it right there. I'm going to end it probably 3/4 of the way up the hook, and we're going to leave some space for this thorax for the fly, and that's where we're going to exchange our thread here. So usually I would have two bobbins, but in this video purpose, if you don't have one, you just whip finish. Okay, make a couple wraps, snip that off. And then what you do is that you just get your thread out, grab your other thread. This is 140 fire hole, ultra thread, and we're just gonna put this through the bobbin. All right, now we're ready to roll. Perfect. Now, next, we're going to now add a really nice hot spot to this. Okay. And don't go too light with this hot spot. The main purpose of this fly is to kind of like an attractor / natural type fly. And you don't need too many wraps, but there we go. That's perfect. All right, now we're gonna make a couple whip finishes, and we are 90% done with this fly. Now, before going on finishing up this fly, I get a lot of questions in regards to if I use UV, what type of UV colors, things like that. Actually, I've been veering away from UV for a while now. I've been experimenting with both of these solutions, and I've been actually sticking with superglue. The main purpose of this fly is to have it as almost like a really slim body, but also too, the pertigon is short for stone or pellet, and this basically makes it into that body shape and makes it into a full solid body fly. And I believe that this is just a cheaper alternative, but also too, I haven't seen really a difference between the UV and superglue. So what we're gonna do is gonna really lightly, this is a new superglue too, so I gotta be really careful how much superglue comes out of this. There we go, that's perfect. All right, I'm gonna keep this a relatively slim body. That's perfect. So we added some superglue. We're going to make sure that we coat this whole entire body with superglue. And we are into magic. There we go. That's it. We have the most perfect pertigon fly that you could probably tie, imitating both a midge but also an attractive pattern. And I usually tie these patterns, or this pattern specifically, as my tag fly or my dropper fly. If I'm fly fishing for natural trout or brown trout in particular in native brook streams or out on Spring Creek where the waters are really pressured, I would tend to definitely use this fly all the time. But also too, if you have stock trout, that that hot spot really gets them going. And I promise you, if you tie this fly and get it in your fly box, have multiple variations of colors and sizes and things like that, I guarantee you, you'll probably catch a lot more fish out there on the stream. So before leaving this video, please click the link down below to learn more about fly fishing or fly tying and work with me on getting more fish to the net. Thank you everybody for watching, and as always, tight lines and stay fishy.